I look a fool. That's okay because I feel a fool because it's like, dang, I took my clock down. But it's like 2 something in the morning and I had my hair twisted up and I had a bonnet on and I was ready to go to sleep and I just couldn't go to sleep. And I was thinking, what can I do to be kind of productive? And I was like, oh, I can make a YouTube video. I can do the story time about my dirty, racist ass roommate. I can tell you all about that story. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video. So, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kemi and this is my channel, Chemico. What is my channel? What is my channel? We're still figuring that out. I kind of just post stuff that I want to post. But if you guys have some recommendations or have some things that you want to see, let me know down below. Because in this video, it's just gonna be a story time. Those of you who watched my very first video, you would understand where this story time is coming from, because in my very first video, I talked about my first roommate that I had, and my roommate was okay. But would you guys believe me if I told you I have another roommate story that's completely different from this one? Yes, I had problems with another one of my roommates. Yes, I did. Unfortunately, I just don't know whether it's just my luck that I just tend to not get along with my roommates. But if you also want to hear the second roommate, the other roommate story, comment down below. Let me know that you want to watch it so I can feel more compelled to tell the story. Let's start at the very beginning. I feel like this is gonna be a really long video. I might have a second part. I don't know. We'll see how I feel, considering that it's pretty late anyways. But I feel like in a talking mood. So let's start from the very beginning. First, we will refer to this roommate as redacted, because I don't want to say her name, you know, just for safety reasons and stuff like that. And I don't even want to use like the first letter of her name because that'll be too much. So we'll just call her redacted. So me and redacted were randomly selected. However, that was not the case at the very beginning. I had a roommate that I was planning to live with, but last minute she decided that she wanted to live at home. I was like, okay, that's fine. And so I get this message through like the UNF roommate portal, and it's like, hi, it looks like we're roommates. I'm excited to meet you, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, cool. So fast forward, it's move-in weekend, and I see that she posts like this really nice note on the bathroom door, like welcoming me, because she had moved in before I did, and she had lived in the same room that I was moving into the summer before, because she had done summer semester there. So she had moved in before I did. And I saw the note and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Move-in day was kind of a blur for me. Once her parents left, once my dad left, because my dad helped me move in, my dad and my siblings, they helped me move in. Once they left, that is the tale, the beginning tale of between me and redacted, okay? So, you know, we start talking and we start getting to know each other. She's asking me like where I went to high school. She's telling me where she went to school and like where she's from. And then she starts telling me very personal things very early on. And that should have been like a red flag from the beginning. When someone starts disclosing very personal information at the beginning of like a friendship or a relationship, that should be like ding 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 ding. Danger. let me give you guys a little rundown of what happened in the first week of school. So in the first week of school, she told me that she had a boyfriend. Her boyfriend went to USF while she was at UNF, and they had been together for like 2 or something years. Anyway, long story short, they both cheated on each other, okay? And the way that the boyfriend found out that she cheated, because her roommate, her old roommate that she had in summer, they were actually friends. They were friends from high school. And the friend went and told the ex-boyfriend that Redacted was cheating. But the thing was, Redacted had cheated because she had a feeling that her ex-boyfriend was cheating on her. I will say that again for you guys. They both cheated on each other. Redacted cheated on her ex-boyfriend as revenge, and then got mad when her old roommate, her friend that was actually her friend, went and told the ex-boyfriend. And on top of that, she told me, this is all within the first week of school, she's telling me this. She told me that after her boyfriend broke up with her because of that, after that, she tried to commit suicide. She told me that she tried to commit suicide, and that the roommate found her in the room covered in blood, and she had to be institutionalized. She told me this on the first week of school. And another thing that she did during the first week of school is that she went on Tinder. And, you know, Tinder is okay for like hooking up and stuff. But if you are going to hook up, please be safe and be smart about it. She met up with 3 guys, slept with the 3 guys, and did not use any form of protection. She told me this. 3 in 1 week. I'm all for, like, you know, women's sexual liberation. However, you gotta be clean and safe about it. So that was just from the first week. At the beginning of September, her mom came back up to visit her because the mom wanted to celebrate a Jewish holiday because the Redacted was Jewish. And the mom came up to celebrate, and as the mom was leaving, the mom told Redacted something, and I didn't really hear it, and I was like, okay, whatever. Redacted came up to me, and we were talking about something else, and then she brought up what her mom said. She's like, you want to know what my mom told me? What I thought was so funny, but kind of like ridiculous at the same time. She told me that I should hide all my MK bags just in case you tried to steal them. That's so crazy. Your mother told you to hide your purses in case that I tried to steal them. When I heard that, I didn't know how to react. I was just like, wow, that's so crazy. Why would she say that? And then after I was thinking about it, I was like, yo, that's racist. And that's also really stupid, because you would know that I took your bags. Like, what type of thief would want to be caught so easily? Like, if anything went missing in the room, you would automatically know it was me. Or if anything went missing of mine, I would know that Redacted did it. Oh, I feel like I missed something. During the first week of school, when Redacted went on Tinder, she was telling me that she mainly wanted to go on Tinder just for, like, you know, just for, like, for fun. And, you know, like I said, you know, women's sexual liberation, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. You do she was telling me that she wasn't looking to get into a relationship, and then during the very beginning of September, she had a boyfriend. She had like a brand new boyfriend. She was telling me that she went over to the guy's place, which was his dorm room, and his roommate was there, and she spent the night, and she, while the other roommate was in the room, and she was telling me the story like amusingly, like it was supposed to be funny. And I told her, I was like, if you ever do that in here while I'm in the room, I'm going to kick your ass. And she was laughing and I was laughing, but I was being serious. Like, that's mad disrespectful for you to be sleeping in someone's room. Someone's sleeping in the room and you and your boyfriend, while the person is sleeping. That's disrespectful. I was like, if you do that, we're gonna have some problems. So after that first meeting up or whatever, they became boyfriend and girlfriend. Redacted and her boyfriend, I would say that Redacted boyfriend was very strange, a very strange individual. He tried to become my friend, and I didn't like that because he tried a little too hard to be my friend. And if you're trying to be someone's friend, it should come naturally. It shouldn't try to feel forced. I felt like he was trying to be my friend because Redacted was my roommate. But listen, Redacted is just my roommate. Redacted is not my friend. There's a distinction, okay? I feel like Redacted and her boyfriend failed to realize that, which we will delve more into later on. Another thing about Redacted's boyfriend didn't shower on a daily basis. Yeah, you heard me right. Redacted's boyfriend did not shower on a daily basis, meaning that he showered maybe 2 to 3 times a week. She told me this. Redacted told me this. All this information that I'm telling you guys is stuff that Redacted has told me. Redacted just, like I was saying, someone who is just so willing to tell their business, so willing to be open when you just met them it's a little bit of a red flag. I also forgot to mention a couple other things Redacted told me during the first week of school. She told me that she suffered or suffers from depression, anxiety, and ADHD, and she has to take medication to manage all of that. And okay, that's cool. That's nice. I don't know why you felt the need to disclose that to me during our first meeting, because like I said, that is sensitive information, very sensitive information, but she decided to disclose to me. And Redacted also told me that she was in a car accident 2 years prior to me meeting her, and it wasn't like a fatal car accident. However, because of the car accident, she suffers from frequent migraines, and she also has to take medication for that. So it's a lot of medication that she has to be taking. Moving on from that, I'm gonna tell you guys the first instance of Redacted's dirtiness, because I did mention that she was dirty. So let me set the scene for you guys. Let me paint the scene. I'm walking from my friend's dorm room, and they're coming with me because they haven't seen my room yet. And we're walking in, and my roommate isn't in there. And I walk into the room, and you look down, and you see a pair of dirty panties. Face up, the seat of the underwear, there is dried discharge on the underwear. I see it. My 2 friends see it. We all see it. We look at each other and we say, what the fuck? What the fuck? So what I do, I just kick her panties towards her side. of her closet, and we go about our day, we go about our business. And when Redacted comes into the room, I tell her what I saw, and she just laughs it off. And she's like, oh my God, it's so funny. No, girl, it's not funny. It's nasty. That was nasty. Remember how I said that Redacted's boyfriend tried to be my friend? He tried to be my friend, tried a little too hard, and it didn't work very well because of what he and Redacted said to me at the end of September, beginning of October. By that time, the grocery shopping that I had did with my dad when I first moved up there in August, all my groceries were done. So I had to go grocery shopping, and I had to buy more water and more stuff. And so Redacted had a car. So I asked Redacted, I was like, hey Redacted, can you take me to Walmart, and can I bring my friend with me so she can go shopping? And she's like, sure. She did not take me to Walmart because she said Walmart was too far. That was a lie. Walmart was maybe a 2-minute extra drive from Target. She took me to Target instead of Walmart because she said Walmart was too far. Anyways, I just say thank you because I just needed a ride. And so I go, I buy all my stuff, and Redacted's kind of rushing me because she's telling me that her boyfriend wanted to go and eat at the cafe with her. The cafe is nasty. She's kind of rushing me as I'm trying to do my grocery shopping, and she's like, I'll just tell so-and-so that I can't make it because I'm grocery shopping with you. But the way that she said it like she was trying to guilt trip me, and I was like, okay, thank you. And as I'm paying, I'm doing all my stuff, I remember that I wanted to get some Publix chicken, and I told Redacted that I wanted to go to Publix and get some Publix chicken, and she looked exacerbated. She was like, oh. Mind you, Target is in the same plaza vicinity as Publix, so it's not like she has to do like a lot of driving. It's right there. So right off the bat, I was kind of already like, all right, this girl's getting on my nerves. So I buy my Publix chicken. I pay $13 whatever, how much that you have to pay for your Publix chicken. I'm excited. I'm happy. We get in the car, and Redacted's like, oh my God, we're gonna fuck this chicken up. Redacted? I didn't know you spoke French. I bought this chicken. You didn't pay for it. Okay. I disregard when she says, we're gonna fuck this chicken up. And once we get in the car, I open the chicken because I want to get a piece and I want to eat because it was a long day and I was hungry. And out of my peripheral vision, I just see Redacted's hand reach over into my lap and grab some chicken and proceed to eat. Redacted did not ask. Redacted reached over. I saw my peripheral vision. Redacted just reached over and grabbed the chicken. I was like, I didn't say anything because I was like, oh right, this is payment for you taking me grocery shopping. I appreciate it. Cool, nice, fine. So we're driving back to the dorm and I'm putting all my groceries back. I put the Publix chicken down and Redacted invited her boyfriend over because they couldn't eat at the cafe. And so the boyfriend's over while I'm putting my groceries away, and I go to the bathroom to wash my hands because before I eat, I always like to wash my hands, especially if I'm going to be eating with my hands. I always like to wash my hands. And I come back into the dorm room and I see that Redacted and her boyfriend have made themselves very at home with my Publix chicken. And they had a whole bowl to themselves. Redacted and her boyfriend. Redacted's boyfriend did not ask me for any Publix chicken. Redacted's boyfriend just helped himself to the Publix chicken. And I was like, all right, Kemi, just take it easy. Relax. Redacted did you a favor by taking you grocery shopping. Redacted's boyfriend, you just gotta put up with him. And, you know, we're sitting there, we're eating. She has the TV on because it's the beginning of October and they're doing like Halloween, whatever. Redacted's boyfriend says something to me that kind of made my blood run cold. Maybe a week before, I was showering and I left my clothes outside of the bathroom and the lights were off, and so I went out without my towel because I believed that my roommate was asleep. Apparently that was not the case. My roommate had seen my chest and my whole body, which is okay. It's fine. We're both women. However, what she did after was not okay. She went and told her boyfriend that she saw me naked and described my body, my breasts, and everything to her boyfriend. And so while we were eating food, Redacted's boyfriend said, Kemi, Redacted told me you got big old jiggly bitties, or whatever that he said. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, Redacted told me that she saw you came out the bathroom and like you must have thought that she was asleep and like it was dark, but she saw and she's like, your boobs are huge. And she told me, and I was like, I wasn't expecting that because you're like so skinny. When I tell you, I have never been more uncomfortable in my life than I was in that very situation. I wanted to just repulse into myself. I was such in shock, and the fact that he just said it so confidently, with no hesitation at that. And at that very moment, I knew I hated Redacted's boyfriend. I hated Redacted's boyfriend, and I did not like Redacted also. That's when what day was that? I think October 1st. That's when I knew, yeah, I can't vibe with Redacted. But wait, it gets worse. I would like to talk about Redacted's cleanliness because that is a very, very big part of my disdain for Redacted. Since the very beginning of the semester, Redacted showed an aversion to cleanliness, to being clean. Every time I would clean my room, I would clean my side of the room because I like to at least clean once a week. So once a week, I would clean the bathroom and I would clean my side of the room. And it came to a point in the semester where I realized, Redacted has never cleaned the bathroom, like ever. And it came to me, that epiphany came to me at the middle or the end of October. I was like, Redacted has never cleaned the bathroom. And the same thing with her side of the room. She never cleaned her side of the room. When you came into my room, and this is my friends describing my room to me. They described the room to me that when you came into the room felt very stuffy, very claustrophobic, and the room had a smell. And I was like, oh my God, my room has a smell. And so I went and I told Redacted this. And I told Redacted, I was like, hey, when my friends come into my room, they say that the room has a smell. And she's like, well, that's kind of weird. It must must be the fall smell, you know? Because when I'm at home, my house kind of smells old because of the fall smell. You know, we'll buy some plugins. Maybe that'll get rid of the smell. Her not looking at her laundry basket piled up with dirty clothes. Her not looking at all the clothes that are on the floor. Her not looking at her clothes that are on her desk. Her not looking at all the clothes that are on her chair. Her not looking at her trash that is overflowing. But it's the fall smell, right? It's not all of that. It can't be. It just can't be. But going back to the bathroom situation, when I realized that Redacted had never cleaned the bathroom, I went up to her and I asked her, I was like, hey Redacted, when have you ever cleaned the bathroom? Or when was the last time that you cleaned the bathroom? I damn well knowing the answer to that question. She sat there and she actually thought about it. And she's like, I don't think I've ever cleaned the bathroom. And I was like, exactly. So I think that you should start cleaning the bathroom. And she's like, okay, that's no problem. We can create a schedule and then we'll do it. And so that's what we did. Redacted did not follow that schedule. And if she did, she half-assedly cleaned the bathroom. And what I mean by that, listen, maybe I'm just like a neat freak. I don't think I am, but maybe to others, I'm a neat freak. To me, cleaning the bathroom is you clean the tub, you clean the toilet, you clean the sink, you take out the trash, you sweep the floor, you clean the mirrors, you do everything that is touched and that is used and that is like the poop particles that are in the air, everything that is just floating, it needs to be cleaned. But to her, cleaning the bathroom was getting like a little tissue paper, wiping the sink, wiping the mirror, throwing it in the trash. And that's she's cleaned the bathroom. And so I told her, can you come into the bathroom one time, please? I know you said you cleaned the bathroom, but the bathroom still looks dirty. And she's like, well, I tried my best. You know, that's how I clean my bathroom at home. Redacted. I understand that, but it's still dirty. Sweetie, it's still dirty. There's still a ring around the toilet. There's still a ring around the tub. The trash is not taken out. And your hair is still on the floor. And your hair is still in the shower drain. What did you clean? Can you tell me what did you clean? Because maybe I'm missing something. What did you clean? So what I did, might it have been condescending what I did? Yes, I did. Yes, it was condescending. But what I did, I cleaned the bathroom in front of her so she can see how I wanted the bathroom to be clean. Because her definition of clean was not my definition of clean. And I just didn't want to have that talk again with her, because to me it just seems so frivolous to be talking about how a bathroom should be cleaned. And once I did that, she got upset. She packed all her bags or whatever, and she went outside, slammed the door, and went to her boyfriend's room. And, you know, that's okay. It's whatever. But for me, what was really the tipping point what was really the tipping point was Veterans Day. Veterans Day. So she had been out for the whole weekend visiting some friends, and she was away. And I was on the phone with my mom, and I see something like scurrying like out of her side of the room, like out of the corner of my eye. And lo and behold, what do I see? A roach. And I'm like, oh my God. And I have to go and rush and kill the roach. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this girl has made the room so dirty that we have roaches. This girl has let her trash overfill so much that she has roaches. And when she came back, it was late. I didn't tell her that right then and there because it was late. I went to sleep and I told her in the morning. I went up to her and I was like, hey, Redacted, I want to talk to you about something that I saw the other day. Out of your side of the room, I saw a roach. And she looked at me like, okay. And I was like, do you know where roaches come from? She's like, outside. I'm like, yes. But they also come from dirt. You know, they're attracted to dirty things. They're attracted to that peanut butter that you've left there uncapped. They're attracted to your Captain Crunch empty box with the plastic sleeve still in there and the sugar on the bottom. They're attracted to your Chick-fil-A cup on the windowsill. They're attracted to your overfilling trash can. They're attracted to all that stuff. Yes, cockroaches come from outside, but they're attracted to other things. And she was like, okay, if you want me to clean my side of the room, I'll clean my side of the room. Just tell me to do that. And as she's doing it, I'm just kind of like looking at her because I didn't like the way that she responded to me. And she's like, why are you looking at me? I'm like, I didn't think this would turn into an argument. I was just telling you what I saw. And she's like, I understand that like you're trying to be patient with me and everything, but like I've just had a lot going on in my life. Like there are some things that I just don't tell you. There's just been a lot that's been going on, and like I understand that my side of the room just hasn't been clean, but like I'm really trying, and like I'm sorry that I can't be you and be perfect and be clean. And like, honestly, every time that you walk into the room, you make my anxiety spike because I always feel like you're watching me, like it always feels so stressful. And as she's telling me this, I'm just like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm just asking you to clean. You didn't have to tell me your whole life story. Like, I didn't need to know any of that whatsoever. I didn't need to know that. But go off, I guess. Go off. And so she starts to clean up and I leave because I had another class to go to. My phone died. But anyways, like I was saying, so I leave because I had another class to go to. And as I'm walking away, like my phone buzzes. I see it's a text from Redacted and the text says, so I just got yelled at, LOL. And the next text after that said, sorry, that wasn't for you. That was for my boyfriend. And I'm like, I don't like this. So I go back to the room and she's there with like her head on like the bed. And I'm like, do we have a problem? Like, is there something wrong? Like, do you feel like I yelled at you? She's like, no, I'm just being dramatic. I appreciate the way that you came to talk to me, because the way that I came and I talked to her, I came and I spoke to her in a very calm tone, very calm manner, because I find that with like a lot of white women, if you don't speak to them in like a calm way, they will automatically get like defensive. They think that you're trying to like upset them somehow. So me being a black woman, I constantly have to tiptoe around how I say certain things around Redacted because I don't want to be perceived as aggressive or be perceived as like I'm trying to scare her or something, you know. But me talking to her in a non-differential tone, just speaking to her and telling her what I saw, like, hey, I came to the room, I saw a roach. Roaches are attracted to all this dirt that you have in the room. Can you please clean the room? She took that as yelling, and so I leave again, pissed. And so I'm out all day, and I come back to my room, and I see that she's cleaning, like actually cleaning her side of the room. I'm grabbing my stuff because I had to go back to the library because I had to study, you know, college student teens. And I say to her, I was like, okay, I understand today was a little bit rough, but if you are going to be talking shit, make sure you send it to the right person. And she's like, oh, I wasn't talking shit. I was like, okay, but for future reference, make sure you send it to the right person. Make sure you text the right person. Because I'm thinking, how do you accidentally send a text to me, my name, which is a completely different letter from her boyfriend's name? You know, just be smart about it. Be smart. And so I leave. So, you know, time passes, some things go on, and I notice that Redacted is still not keeping up her end of the bargain. Like, she hadn't cleaned the bathroom, and I'm leaving the bathroom. I'm not cleaning it because I want to see how long she's gonna leave the bathroom for. And it had been 3 weeks, and Redacted had not cleaned the bathroom. And when I tell you, the bathroom was dirty. The bathroom was dirty. And so I asked Redacted, I'm like, hey Redacted, can you clean the bathroom? She's like, sure. She goes and cleans the bathroom, and she does a terrible job. She does a terrible job. So I'm like, hey Redacted, did you clean the bathroom? She's like, yes, I cleaned the shower, I cleaned the mirror, I cleaned the toilet, I took out the trash, I swept the floor, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, word? Can you come to the bathroom, please? So she tells me that she cleaned the tub. The tub that we had was like a regular tub, and if you don't clean the tub properly or the tub gets dirty, you start to see like the grime that forms on the wall. And she's telling me that she had cleaned the bathroom, and the grime was so hard to take off, and she couldn't do it, you know, because she was telling me she used to dance, so being on her knees for extended periods of time really hurt her knees. And then she because of her car accident, not only did she have like migraines, she had like a wrist injury, so she can't really clean the tub properly. So maybe that's why the grime was still on the bathtub. And what I did right before her eyes, I took a bathroom cleaner, sprayed it. I got the bathroom bristle scrub. I did this. Not even 3 times, and it came off. When I tell you the grime just like came off like butter, with no effort. It's just like that. So once again, I heard shuffling. She took some stuff, she left, and she slammed the door. And I was like, okay, cool. So I go and I clean the bathroom. And after I clean the bathroom, I take pictures of the bathroom and I send it to her. And I was like, when I say I want a bathroom clean, this is what I want the bathroom to look like. And that's what I sent her in the text. And she replied back, basically saying how she does the best that she can. She's sorry she can't be perfect like me. And the fact that she has multiple injuries due to dance and from her car accident, that she just really can't clean to the best of her ability that I'm expecting her to clean. The way that she was taught to clean was sufficient in her household, and that she is trying her best. So later that night, she comes into the room and I decide to have a talk with her. I'm like, all right, Redacted, I would like to talk about all this stuff that you were telling me about, you know, your wrist. You can't really clean the bathroom properly because you injured your wrist, and you can't be on your knees for long periods of time because you used to dance and your knees are still injured. Then she was telling me her ADD doesn't allow her to be very clean. Her depression on top of that clutters her mind, and so the clutter in her mind transfers to like in person, and that her anxiety doesn't allow her to have the motivation to clean. She basically told me she's dirty because of her mental illness, and I just said okay. Because to me, that just sounds like complete bullshit, because when she cleans, it's clean. She just chooses not to clean, and that's what really pissed me off. And she let the room get so dirty to the fact that we had roaches. That's what pissed me off. Oh, and on top of that, I forgot to tell you guys how she was a racist. Redacted, love to use the N-word with the A and the ER. Every time she was on Snap, it's out of her mouth. She's singing a song, it's out of her mouth. And I would constantly tell her, I'm like, hey, can you not say? She's like, yeah, sure. Of course. In one ear, out her ass. So after our little, you know, discussion, or her telling me basically just excuses, I decide that I want the RA to like come and do like another roommate agreement, because it just seems like all the efforts that I was trying to do just kept failing. So the RA came into the room and we did like a roommate agreement, and we agreed to keep the room clean and all that stuff. Once again, Redacted did not keep up her side of the agreement. There was this one time that Redacted went and used my cleaning supplies and took it to her boyfriend's room to go and clean his room, while her side of the room was still very dirty. And so a lot of you are thinking, oh my god, why didn't you just try to switch roommates? Listen, I tried, but every time I went to the housing office, they said that they were on room lock switch, which means that I couldn't switch my room until like a certain amount of time. And then when I did go, there were little to no rooms available for me to switch to. So I was basically stuck with her. And so I decided to contact her old roommate. It was very easy to do. I was able to go on Instagram and I DM'd this person because Redacted told me the person's name and Redacted showed me the person's Instagram, and I was like, oh, this was like at the beginning when she was telling me that her old roommate snitched and told her ex-boyfriend that she cheated, and she became enraged and tried to commit suicide and became institutionalized, and now they were not friends anymore. So I decided, who knows Redacted better than her previous roommate? So I decide to DM the previous roommate. I'm like, hey, hi, so-and-so, do you know Redacted? And she's like, yeah, I used to be her roommate. And I was like, okay, can you tell me how it was living with her, like cleanliness-wise? And when I tell you guys, everything that she was doing to me, she had done it before. To her own friend. They had been friends since high school. And I remember the old roommate, she was saying, oh yeah, every time I asked her to clean the dishes in the sink, she would always give attitude. And then she used the excuse of anxiety so much, I started to believe she never even had it. Her friend said that, so I think that's a little indicator into Redacted's character. So the semester finishes, we all go home for winter break, and it's great. It's a nice time. But then we come back, and I feel like we're coming to the climax of the story, another climax of the story. I feel like I should try to keep this as short as possible because I'm trying to make this into one video. This is going to be a hell of a lot to edit, but so be it. So be it. I want to tell this story. So in January, when school started back up again, I was in a play. I had came back because the show had finished and I had to get out of costume, and I came back to the room, and my roommate was there, and I was in the bathroom and I was taking off my makeup. I still needed the light in the main room, and so I left it on. She wasn't asleep, she was watching TV, so she had no reason to complain about the light being on. So I go into the bathroom, I'm taking off my makeup and everything, and I hear the TV turn off, I hear like rustling, and I hear the door open and slam. And I'm like, okay, this bitch is having an attitude again. Let's leave it alone. And once I finish taking off my makeup, I go into the room and I open the door, and it's pitch black. Like, she turned off all the lights. All the lights that she knew I was using to get ready to go to sleep. She turned off all the lights, left the room, and slammed the door and went to her boyfriend's room. And then, at the time, I was following her on her Finsta, and I was just scrolling through Instagram before I went to sleep, and she had posted a picture of like someone with this face, and then the caption was mood. And I don't know, I felt like that was a little bit about me. And do you know how you just have like these feelings? Something just tells you to do something, and something was telling me, check Twitter. And I go and check her Twitter, and lo and behold, she had tweeted 27 minutes ago, imagine living with someone that you absolutely hate. Oh wait, ... Who could have that been about? So what I did, being the petty person that I am, I screenshotted it, just in case that she tried to delete it and say that she never tweeted that. I screenshotted it, and I was just waiting for the perfect time to confront her about it. I waited a total of 2 days before I confronted her about it because I didn't want to be dramatic. Like, maybe I was blowing it out of proportion, and I should just let it go. But I was like, nah. She's trying to be sneaky. Like, she's trying to talk shit about me behind my back. So I was like, no, we're gonna address this. So she came into the room, and I asked her, I was like, hey, Redacted, I have a question. And so I pull up this screenshot and I show it to her. I'm like, can you tell me who this is about? And she's looking at the phone and she's looking at me. And you know how like white people, when they're embarrassed, they turn red? Her whole face red. She's like, that's about you. I was like, okay, now that, you know, everything's out in the air, why don't we discuss it? She's like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this right now. If we're gonna be talking, I want the RA in the room because it's obvious that we don't like each other and like one of us needs to leave. And I was like, okay, I understand that, but if you know, have a problem with me I would appreciate it if you came to me and you told me in person instead of running online and talking shit about me online like you're in middle school. Just come and say it to me. And I was like, okay, it's cool. You don't like me. I was like, I haven't liked you since October. And now what? What are we gonna do? What's the next move? So she keeps saying that she wants the RA, she wants the RA. I'm like, well, why don't you call the RA? The RA is 2 doors down from us. Just call her. And you want to know something? She didn't even know the RA's name. She didn't even have the RA's number. So she was saying, oh, I want to get the RA as a way to like intimidate me. But like me and the RA were like this, which is why like, okay, call the RA. You know what? I'll call the RA for you. So I pull up my phone. I'm like, boop, 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 bop. And I call the RA. Unfortunately, the RA was at work and she could not come. And so I was telling Redacted, I was like, all right. So everything's out in the open. If you have a problem with someone, you go to them and you tell them. And then she brought up her problem with me. She was saying how, because my schedule for spring had switched previous to fall semester. So a lot of my classes in the fall had started in the afternoon and her classes were in the morning. So whenever she was getting ready, I would hear her getting ready and she would be noisy or whatever and she would leave and I would just go back to sleep. And then she brought up, she felt that I got ready loud in the morning on purpose to wake her up. And I brought up, I was like, but you got ready noisily every day last semester. And you know what I did? I went right back to sleep because we shared the same room. It's impossible to get ready without making some sort of noise. So what do you want me to do? And then she also brought up how she has felt so uncomfortable coming to the room whenever I'm there that sometimes she's contemplating even sleeping in the car because she couldn't bear being around me for so long. And I was like, oh, but why didn't you do it? Another thing that really just brought me over the edge, she was saying how she felt like she couldn't speak to me or she didn't want to talk to me or tell me any problems that she had with me because she just felt that I was intimidated. And I was like, can you tell me, what have I ever done to you to have made you feel that I'm being intimidating to you? She's like, oh, I feel like you get ready loud in the morning on purpose. When you make tea, because I like to make tea, I drink tea. She's like, when you make your tea, you use the metal spoon, and the metal spoon grates my ears and I can't go to sleep. And then I feel like you always have a problem with me because my side of the room is not as clean as yours. And this is why you find me intimidating. She's like, well, maybe intimidating is not the right word. No. What you meant to say is that you're uncomfortable around being a black person. Intimidating is coded language. When I tell you I had been the most guarded, most suppressed version of myself that I could be around that girl because she is so emotional, so easily frazzled. I don't want to do anything that can like set her off or make her feel uncomfortable. But it didn't matter. The real reason why she found me intimidating was because I was black. She just didn't want to say it. But I can read in between the lines. And after that, she brought up her mental illness again. Nowhere in the conversation was I ever alluding to her mental illness, and then she brought up her mental illness. She's like, I try so hard to like accommodate you, but like you're just such a bitch, and every time I tell you about my problems, it's just like you don't understand. And thinking back to it, I did understand. I just didn't care. Because the way that she talked about her mental illness, she talked about it like it was an excuse and not a reason. Like, I did understand. I do understand. I just didn't care anymore. And then, anyways, she was starting to leave, and she was saying that, like, I'm such a bitch to be around. I was like, oh, if you think this is a bitch, like, if you think this is terrible, this is the worst, I'm like, stay in the room longer. I'll show you a bitch. She's like, I wish you would. I was like, be careful what you wish for. Because I can really do it. Like, I can show you bitch. If you think this is bitch, if you think this is hell, stay in the room longer and I can show you. And so she leaves. And at that point, I was on the phone with one of my friends and I was explaining the whole situation to her. And she comes into the room and we're on FaceTime. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this bitch. I'ma still keep talking. And as I'm talking, the hoe decides to butt into the conversation. And I'm like, damn, was I talking to you? Like, do you want to come in and talk? Like, do you want to come and tell the story yourself? And then she goes to the door and she opens the door and she has like another RA from the floor come into the room to like stand in or watch for whatever. And I'm still telling my story, and the RA is standing there. She grabs like a whole bunch of bags, a whole bunch of stuff to stay for wherever, and she leaves. But as she's leaving, I see the door open wider, and I see that there's like a security guard or like a police officer outside. And the door closes. I'm like, she really got a police officer or security guard as backup because she thought I was gonna beat her ass. She thought that I was gonna fight her, so she got scared and went and got a security guard or a police officer for extra protection. I'm thinking in my mind, she probably was like, oh my god, can you please come to my room? Like, I'm afraid my roommate's gonna like attack me because like she's black and aggressive. But the days that came after that were great because I had the whole room to myself. She moved out and she had been officially moved out by like February 1st. Oh my goodness. I forgot to tell you about her weird relationship with her ex-boyfriend and the ex-boyfriend's parents. Okay. So remember how I told you that her ex-boyfriend and her had both cheated on each other, but the boyfriend broke up with her and then she went crazy and tried to kill herself? Well, the parents never really knew how they broke up. So, because the parents didn't really know how they broke up, Redacted was still buddy-buddy with them. Redacted would still call the ex-boyfriend's parents and talk to them and FaceTime them. And sometimes when Redacted went home, Redacted would visit the ex-boyfriend's parents. And you want to know something even crazier? Redacted took her current boyfriend, or her current boyfriend at the time, to go and see her ex-boyfriend's parents. You heard that right, folks. She took her new boyfriend to meet her ex-boyfriend's parents. She was still friends with them. It's just a little insight into her mental state, her mentality. But yeah, that was my story about my roommate. Oh, I forgot to tell you the aftermath of it. So after she moved out completely, I met up with the RA, and the RA was telling me that she had been trying to track me down, but every time she knocked on the door, I wasn't there. And she was telling me that for Redacted to move, they had to have a meeting with the head of housing, the RA, and then somebody else. And the RA was alluding to me that Redacted tried to make it seem like I was getting violent with her. which was why they had to do like an emergency move for her. But because I had been talking to the RA and the RA knew my situation, she was able to fend for me, to say that no, like, she's not aggressive. Like, everything that Redacted is telling you is not true, is a lie. And then on top of that, the head of housing knew her situation, that she was institutionalized, and they knew that she wasn't right in the head, and so they also took that into account. But can you believe, if I had not spoken to the RA at all, Redacted would have tried to have painted me as an aggressor, as someone who tried to hurt her, to injure her. So thinking back to how she tried to paint me as aggressive, just basically lie on me, it made me think back to all the things that she told me, and made me think, did any of this stuff that she told me, was it real, or was she just a compulsive liar? Well, that's all I have to say about my mentally ill, dirty, racist roommate. At the end of the day, I wish her all the best because she needs it. And that's all you can do in these situations, is just wish someone the best. Get well soon. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. I know it's really long because as I'm recording it, it's really long, but I hope you enjoyed it and you see the ridiculousness that I had to deal with. I apologize for the whooshing noise that started halfway through the video. My phone died and I don't know, my phone just started spazzing out. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video. So until next time, bye.